What's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dana Marie, aka Yelly, and in today's video we're going to be talking about money, budgeting, finances, the dollar bills, okay? We're going to be talking all about that because I think one part of having a successful year for any year is just having your finances, your budgeting in order and knowing exactly where money is going, what you're putting money towards, and how you're spending your money. And I just kind of want to share some tips and things with you all that I've learned from like my parents and just things I like doing myself. So you do not have to necessarily do what I'm going to be explaining in this video, but I'm going to explain to you guys how I do my budgeting, my savings, my everything dealing with money for myself. And you can also do the same thing or tweak it to fit, you know, obviously your budget and your plans that you're trying to do. It doesn't have to be exactly like mine, but I'm just gonna tell you what I do, and then you can decide if you want to do the same thing or start doing something similar. Okay, so let's start off with your budget. The budget is probably going to be the most important thing out of all of this. You can't really save if you don't have a budget, right? Your budget is going to be the amount of money that you have available to spend. Period. Most jobs pay you every 2 weeks. Now there are some jobs that pay you weekly. There are some jobs maybe you only get paid once a month. Whatever situation fits you, that's how you're going to break down your budget. So for me, I'm going to get paid at least twice a month. Best way to start out with your budget is to list the things that you know automatically come out of your account. Even if it's something small, even if it's something like Netflix, and maybe I don't have Netflix, I don't know how much Netflix costs, but let's pretend it's $10. Even if it's something small like Netflix, but list like everything that is like a bill that's going to come out either automatically or you know you have to pay it every single month. In that month, I know that I'm going to have to pay my rent, my car note. I know I'm going to have to pay my student loans, my car insurance, my phone, internet, electric. I also have Squarespace, Adobe, my Adobe subscription. Okay, so after you've done your initial budget, which is this is how much money I have coming in this month, and these are the things that I already know I'm going to have to pay. Let me subtract those, and then whatever you have left after you subtracted your bills that you know you have to pay, then that extra money or that money that's left over is what you're going to use to be able to break off into these different categories. So the categories that I have for the money that's left over after I've paid all my bills are groceries, emergencies, just for fun, bag collective, travel, treat yourself, moving, car, debt, and then I have pay later. Now the pay later is only for this month, but it won't be there every month. You might have different categories than what I have depending on your life. You might have kids, so you might say, oh, let me set aside some of this to go into a college fund or something like that. Make it specific to your life. It does not have to be what I'm about to name, but make it specific to your life, your situation, okay? The way I'm breaking mine down, and your amount is going to be different. It could be more than mine, it could be less than mine. It really just depends on however much money you're gonna have left at the end of the month. So for me, I'm setting aside $150 for groceries. For an emergency fund, I'm putting $150 there. For just for fun, I'm putting $150 there. Just for fun just means like if my friends want to go out to eat, that money is what I would be using for it. Bag collective, that's my little business. Travel, I put $200 for travel. Traveling is, of course, it's self-explanatory, you know. Treat yourself, I put $150 in there. That is specifically for me. If I decide, hey, there's something I see that I like, I'm gonna use some money from my treat yourself fund to buy myself something nice. My car fund, I have $100 in there. Those are the categories that I have. Like I said, you don't have to have these same categories, but I feel like these are, most people I feel like would have something similar to this. Like you need to buy groceries, you will want to have an emergency fund. You want to make sure you do things for yourself, okay? So I encourage everybody to have a treat yourself fund if you're able to, even if you can only put $20 in there. Like if it makes you feel good and if it's gonna make you feel better every single day, just seeing yourself with lashes, or if it's gonna make you feel good to have a new pair of shoes or something, like you should treat yourself. I'm not saying go crazy and buy yourself something new every single day, but like give yourself some money. Like you deserve to be able to enjoy nice things even while you're trying to save money. Because I think some people get so stuck on saving that they just are like, I'm not gonna buy anything unnecessary. And it's okay for you to buy stuff and enjoy things. So you don't have to be super strict about not buying yourself anything. Even if it's like, okay, I'm just gonna use my treat yourself fund to just go have a nice meal one day. You might just want to get something you're craving, some food. Like, do that. Once again, make sure you account for however much you need to pay your necessary bills each month before you start trying to designate money to savings. Because you can't designate money to savings if you need that money to pay your bills, okay? Now, there are some people who do what's called a $0 budget. The $0 budget means that they account for every single dollar. Every dollar that's coming in and then goes out, and what's left over, they account for every single dollar. Now, when I say they account for every single dollar, that means that if they have $1,000 left over after paying all their bills and stuff, they make sure that that $1,000, each dollar from that $1,000 is going somewhere specific. Personally, for me, I don't like doing that because I like to give myself a buffer. I don't like to put every single dollar I have into a category, because the minute you end up having to spend that money from like a different category, that like say you ran out of money from one category and you have to dip into a different category, like the minute you start doing that, I feel like it just messes up everything. So I like to give myself a buffer, so that way, just in case if I go over my budget or I spend, like for example, my groceries is $150. Let's say I end up spending $200 in groceries this month. If I have a buffer that's going to cover that extra amount I spent from the groceries category, and I don't have to take money from any of my other categories and throw them off. You know what I'm saying? So give yourself a buffer. Unless you know you can be super strict. I'm going to get into the different ways you can make extra money and keep some money in your pocket, okay? So when I say different ways you can make extra money, I'm not talking about you having a second job or a third job. I'm not talking about like YouTube and you're monetizing your YouTube channel. I'm not talking about you doing some Instagram deals. This is just for like the average person who is not doing any of that stuff. I use a number of apps. Like on my phone, I have literally a category called surveys. Now all of these apps aren't surveys, but I just put them all in the same category because these are apps that you can like do certain things and get points, and those points you can end up redeeming them for gift cards. The app that I use the most is called Drop. So Drop is just like an app where you can connect your card. I don't know if there's a limit of how many cards you can do, but you can connect like your credit cards, your debit cards, as long as it's a card that's supported. You can connect it on here, and then whatever you're spending, like for example, I shop at Kroger to get my groceries most of the time. So Kroger is an app that's on here. So once that transaction pops up on my bank account, you know, it pops up on Drop as well. And so for them, since Kroger is on here, they give you 5 points for every dollar you spend at Kroger. So I'm gonna get points because I shopped at Kroger. I didn't have to shop through the app. It's just, like I said, it's connected to your card, so it's gonna pick up that you shopped at that place. It's only gonna give you points for you spending money at the places that are on here that it supports. Walmart is on here, Uber Eats is on here, Nike is on here, Target is on here. If you shop at any of those places, you'll get points for those. If you want to also download this app and try it out, like I said, this has been my favorite app, then use my referral code. I'm going to put it down in the description box, but also if you want to use it right now, it's TC2EM. You can download the app and you'll automatically get 5,000 points on your account, which is equivalent to $5. And that'll go ahead and get you jump started to be able to getting more points to go towards a gift card. Another app that I like to use is called Fetch Rewards. This is a receipt app. It just basically looks like that. And you can buy stuff through this app, or I don't do that. I literally just use this app to upload my receipts. So like if I go to Kroger, after they give me my receipt, I just go on my app, take a picture of my receipt. It lets you do it in sections in case you have a really long receipt, and then it'll process that receipt in the app, and it'll give you points based off of like however much money you spent at that store. And then once again, you can redeem the points. If you're interested in trying out this app, you can use my referral code, which is BM1CF. I'll have it here on the screen and I'll have it down in the description box. You can use my referral code and it'll automatically give you a certain amount of points to just go ahead and start off your account. The next app I use, it's called Rewards. Like literally that's all it says is Rewards. You keep your location services on, and basically it'll ask, like when you get on the app, it'll have like take surveys, and it'll just ask you like, oh, did you shop at this place on this day at this time? It'll ask you just like a few questions. The survey is usually not that long, and then it'll give you a certain amount of points after you finish that survey. Once again, once you have a certain amount of points, you can redeem them for different rewards. So another app that I use is called Receipt Hog. Looks like that. Literally all you do is once again take pictures of your receipt. For this app, it does give rewards as well. So my referral code, if you want to use this app, is SKAD1546. It'll be here and also down in the description. Another app I use is called Receipt Pal. Once again, all you do is take a picture of your receipts. If you want to download them, I'll make sure if there's a referral code or link, I'll put it down in the description box, because most of them have a referral code where we both will get points for you signing up using mine. The reason I'm telling you guys about those apps and saying if you want to download them is because some of them offer other types of like gift cards. If you know that you always get stuff at Sephora, get a Sephora gift card, and then that way that's not money coming from your actual money, it's from the gift card, and then you don't have to feel bad about it. So that's just another way that I am able to get money without having to use my money, you know what I'm saying? So if I can just get gift cards from getting X amount of points on each of these apps, those gift cards will add up. So there's benefits to using these apps when it comes to saving your money. And that all works into the budgeting thing, which is why I was saying like even for Apple, I'm getting the Apple gift cards, so that way it just automatically pays for my Apple Music and Apple iCloud from the gift cards and not my actual money. That's saving me money. Even though it's only $14 a month, that $14 can go towards something else. You see what I'm saying? Now, as far as budgeting and saving money and things like that go, brings me to my next option, which is a credit card. This conversation is only for people who know that they are responsible. If you know that you are not responsible enough to have a credit card, then do not get a credit card. Now, the way that I use my credit card to pay for pretty much everything. If you have a credit card, or at least for me specifically, every single purchase, no matter where you're purchasing from, you get points for every dollar that you spend. Now, sometimes you'll get even more points if you're spending money at certain places, like a restaurant. I think it's like 2 times points or something like that. Different things can get you different points, but if something you buy doesn't fall into one of those categories, you automatically will still get at least 1 point for every dollar that you're spending. That's why I use my credit card to pay for literally everything, because I can rack up points. Now, what I use my points for with my credit card has been for travel purposes. Like the points that I've racked up, I've gotten multiple free flights from them. I've gotten a pair of AirPods with the amount of points that I've had. I've booked a whole like 4 or 5 days hotel stay in New York, in Manhattan, with my points. There are a lot of people who get credit cards to pay for things because they just want to get stuff. Like they just want to get stuff and they don't really care how they get it. They just want to get it. So they feel like, let me just get this credit card because I'm gonna pay it later. And then they end up maxing out that credit card, and then they'll open up another credit card with somebody else, max that one out. Now you owe 2 different credit card companies money that you're not paying because you're continuing to just open credit cards, and it's just messing up your credit. So that's what I'm saying. You have to be responsible. You have to be a disciplined person. You can't be a person who just wants to buy all the time, because then you're gonna abuse the privilege of having the credit card. And I do not wait until the end of the month to pay it off. Like if I went to the grocery store today and bought something today and it takes 2 days for it to like finally post on my credit card. As soon as I see it post, guess what? I'm already paying the balance off. Now they don't give you the points automatically. Once the statement ends and it calculates like how much you spent that month, then once the new statement starts, it adds on the amount of points you got, you know, throughout the previous month, the previous statement. Getting a hotel and getting a flight is usually pretty expensive. And so if you can use your points to go ahead and take care of that cost, that's money you can, like the money you're saving by using your points is the money that you can be using to do fun stuff, to pay for like the food, the like Ubers or the Lyfts, wherever you're at. Like I said, I use my credit card points for travel purposes, but you can use them for multiple things. It just depends on what credit card you get and what they offer. But once again, if you are not responsible, do not get a credit card, okay? These are all things that can help with your budget, because I'm all for saving money as much as possible. Like, I do want to spend money on myself or like to do fun things, but if I can find ways or like certain areas that I can just spend less money, I'm gonna do that. So yeah, I hope that you all test out some of these apps and try these apps and get some of these budgeting and tips and things and put them all together and utilize them for yourself. And I want to know how it works out. If you decide to do any of these things, or if you even create your own chart, like, let me know. If you have your own tips for things that you do that I didn't list or name in the video, leave them down below so other people can kind of like have other options that they can look into. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel. Turn on the little bell for the post notifications so you know when I post. Like the video, and please, please, please follow me on my different social media pages. You're gonna see at the end of the video, and I will see you all in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.